Welcome to the Answers for Elders radio show. Meet the trusted experts who will give you straight answers and will help guide you on the path of later life care. Now, here's your host, founder, caregiver, and CEO, Suzanne Newman.
And welcome back, everyone, to Answers for Elders Radio Network. And this month, we are focusing on National Family Caregivers Month, and we are honored to have Kitty Norton here, the creator and producer of Wine, Women, and Dementia. And I love this movie. And to each and every one of you that is hearing this show, we're going to have some information coming up in this hour of how you can screen the movie before it originally comes out. And Kitty, welcome back to the show. I'm really excited to learn more about your movie.
Great. I'm excited to tell you.
Well, what I want to talk about, you started this blog, and then during this transitionary time, your mom passed away. Is that this? Am I getting the timing correct?
Yeah. Well, I had started the blog in 2018 and mom died in 2021. And during that time, we had kind of built this community around people who also were using humor to try and get through this.
Yeah.
And acknowledging all the feels, just not allowing the stigma and the guilt to be a part of the journey too much.
Sure.
You can't block it all together.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is that you had this idea to go around and meet all these people. Is that how it started? I think you share in the movie.
Well, how it really started was 5 people in particular in this journey became very, very important to me as virtual support. Like everybody who followed the blog, commented, did all of that stuff was important. But these 5 people, we had really connected. At least I had really connected with them.
That is so cool. And I loved all of them, by the way, in the movie.
After mom died, I decided I wanted to go meet them. And I just wanted to tell them in person how much they meant to me and open a bottle of wine and just talk, because we had been so good at just emails and Zooms.
Yeah.
So then I thought, well, if I'm going to do that, maybe those conversations might be really helpful for other caregivers.
Yeah.
And I thought, why not, maybe hire a film crew and see what we can do here. And we did a month-long trip around the country, but the very first person we did was Allison Schreier up in Seattle, because I'm based in Portland.
And Allison's been on our show several times, so our listeners know of Allison.
Oh, she's awesome.
Isn't she? Yes.
So we did that the month prior to setting out on the big trip, because I wanted to make sure before we roamed around the country that I had a film. And I came back, looked at the footage of Allison's formal interview without me, and then the wine chats that we did at night once I showed up. And I was like, for sure, this is a film. This is a film I wish I could have seen in 2016. I want to make this. So that's how the whole trip got started. It was, I bought a beat up old RV and I plastered mom's face all over it. And I grabbed my friend Bethy from LA, and she's a screenwriter, so she doesn't have normal jobs like everybody else. And I was like, hey, you want to go on a 3-week trip with me around the country?
I love it. So, and you show the roadmap on the movie of where you traveled. And I know you traveled to a bunch of cities and found these individuals, and they each had their own stories, which I was powerful. What surprised you most about meeting all of them?
Well, I was so nervous that, what if we don't like each other in person? What if, I've got an RV, I'm going to be parked in your driveway, I'm going to be taking your electricity. What if we meet and at the end of the night, you're like, ugh,
I can't imagine that.
Yeah. But that didn't happen. We all loved each other. We just, and we just started talking. Like there was, the crew would sometimes scold us, like, don't stop. You're talking about stuff we should have on camera and we're not set up yet. It was just,
oh, I love it.
Like we just couldn't wait to start sharing in person the experiences that we had touched on virtually. It was fantastic.
So you to tell everyone about the movie, what would be your quote unquote elevator speech about it?
It's a road trip connecting the disconnected, and because until there's a cure, there's community. That's the tagline. And it truly is a film where it's just caregivers talking to caregivers. It's our caregiver smack. And I think it's mixed in with the road trip. So there's lots of humor. There's lots of humor in our stories too.
Yes, there is.
But I think any caregiver watching it, it's not them up on screen. It's not their specific story, but they see themselves. This is what I'm finding from the audience.
That is absolutely the truth. And I think whether you're caring for someone that has dementia or not, you will still get your story, because you'll hear these stories from all of these different amazing people. First of all, a couple of these people, several of these people that are full-time caregivers, that's all they do all day. I thought to myself, wow, I had it so easy compared to what they've gone through. None
of us have it easy in this journey.
But I think the other thing is it made me feel so close a connection to them. And that's one of the things I think that's really important about this movie. It's healing, but it's also inspiring. It has the ability to reach into your heart that you may not be connecting to with the world outside. It's like one of the things I always used to say is that, you could go to a restaurant and there might be, 50 people in the restaurant, and maybe 10 of them are family caregivers, and you would never know it because you don't talk about it. You don't have anybody to connect with. And even though you're socially there trying to find connection, you're going to have this big elephant in your life that you don't necessarily connect to. That person might be at the next table, but you don't know who you don't know. And that's the thing that is really crazy about this whole phenomena of caregiving. And you have provided an amazing movie that we can all relate to. I sent it to my my oldest and bestest friend who just went through caring for her parents. She went, "Oh my God, Suzanne, I love this movie. I love this movie. It was my story." She goes, "I sent it to my sister." And she watched it. So it was like, this is what you've done for people. And the fact that this movie exists, I love this movie. And I encourage everyone to watch it. So Kitty, you created the movie. You're now having screenings and you won awards. Tell us a little bit about the awards you've won.
Oh, well, we won the Audience Choice Award at the Jillian Dubuque, which was our premiere festival. Awesome. At Vero Beach, we won the Audience Choice Award and the Jury Award for Best Documentary. And that's it.
Well, you know what? It's very exciting. She's been doing film festivals. I see all this amazing things that you're doing. And we're going to talk in our next segment to everyone. What are the top 3 things that Kitty learned that can help you as a family caregiver? In our next segment, Kitty and I will be right back right after this. We at Answers for Elders thank you for listening. Did you know that you can discover hundreds of podcasts in our library on senior care? So visit our website and discover our decision guides that will help you also navigate decision making. Find us at answersforelders.com.